So this video is going to show you how to turn a bog standard ice cream cone into this.
Go outside.
So the first things first, you obviously need an ice cream cone, you need some spoons, you need some royal icing. So I've got a bit too much royal icing, but as I'm doing craft fair, I'm going to probably end up using all. You also need a little spoon or a toothpick and a piping bag. As you can see, I've used my piping bag and my cloth already, so they've got a bit green and a bit icky. So first things first, you can use a beater like the one I've got in the back corner, and you need to add 2 scoops of the royal icing, because you don't want to work with much more at a time. It makes it difficult. So as you can see, I've got some pre-greened royal icing, and that is in the colour gooseberry, but pretty much anything green. Remember, if you are using a liquid rather than a gel colour, you might need to add more ice and sugar. Mix like hell. You might see it lose some volume, as this technically is a meringue mix, but you know, that's lots of colour. Get your piping bag, put your nozzle in. I'm using kind of like a shell nozzle with a weird flat bit on the end. Turn your piping bag inside out and start loading up. Now, suggestion, get someone to help you with this. As you can see, I'm really struggling to do this with one hand and ended up making a lot more mess than I needed to. But you know what? Oh well. Well done me. Get ready to pipe. Day 2 of trying to make these things, and I ended up filming more. Okay, so these are a few that I've already piped. Now, first things first, you're going to start about a third up the cone, so kind of at the bit where it starts properly splaying out. And you're going to do some kind of medium-sized dots. So using a shell nozzle is really easy. You basically press your nozzle to the cone, start pressing some pressure on your piping bag, and then pull away. And the good thing is, where you normally need to get a nice rounded edge, you're actually aiming to get popped out dots, because that's going to hopefully look like the branches. Now, as you can see, I've put my finger inside the cone. Makes life easier. Make sure you wash your hands, especially if you're giving away the present. Work your way down, work your way up. You can either do them in perfect lines and it'll look quite formalised and pretty, or you can go random. If it gets a bit warm icing and a bit soft and it goes a bit icky or it doesn't come out, doesn't matter. It's a tree, it doesn't have to be perfect. As you work your way up to the point, start using faster and more crazy dotty patterns, and also try and make the dots a bit smaller. So basically, in the time that you're pressing down, don't put as much icing on the cone. So you can actually spread it on and then just flick it out if you don't have a piping bag, but I think this looks prettier. As you can see at the top, my hands had heated up the piping bag and it started getting more liquid. Again, it's not a problem. You just end up losing some of the shell work, but you still get the same effect. Don't worry about it. This is perfectly normal. If you want, you can put your piping bag in the fridge for a bit. So I've then got some little silver balls and basically drop them on. You can try and place them on first, but it's often a lot harder. So try dropping them on and then gently tapping them in place. I then also got some really lovely little snowflakes, which I bought for really like 50p cheapness. And I again put them on, try and let them fall-ish, and then press them into the icing. You want to do this while they're wet, because otherwise royal icing will get a set outer edge and you will find it impossible without it cracking to make it look pretty. You'll notice I haven't done the royal icing at the top, and that is so I can do this. Magical, I didn't get covered in royal icing. Keep your piping bag at hand and just finish up the top and leave it on a rack. Speed recap. Quick run through. This is my Frosties design. So this one I literally just placed it down instead of holding up. You can do this as well, it doesn't really make a difference. Again, I started at the bottom here, just go through. So remember, the ones at the bottom, pipe bigger, the ones at the top, pipe smaller. Doesn't really matter. This is using a lighter colour, so when you're making lots and lots of them, it's really nice to do a variation in colour. It's also easier because it means you're not trying to match up the exact same colour. So for this one, this is the bit more crazy pattern where you just kind of go a bit all over. But to be honest, you can swap and change. Again, especially if you're making a forest like I am, where you're making a ton of them, having a bit of difference in them makes them look really cool. Difference in colour, different in style, because no trees are the same. So now I worked my way up, and I've then, because I've basically decided I didn't like it. Added more to the bottom, keep adding dots, keep changing how you do stuff. Just keep doing it the same method as earlier until you're done and happy with it. Here's my forest of yummy Xmas trees.